Hey all, Sonic Hero here. What is the worst video game of all time? Well, you're kinda correct about this one. But Sonic Forces was a game that was hyped up to be something big, but it wasn't. It came out and people did not like it. I bought this game digitally because I wanted to play it, but bought it physically recently just to have it. And overall, it's pretty alright. It sorta has its moments, but we're not talking about Sonic Forces. We're talking about its DLC. Episode Shadow. Shadow hasn't been a playable character in the series for a pretty long while, but he's back and he's playable again. I decided I wanted to play this DLC as a way to prepare myself for Sonic X Shadow Generations, and after playing it 2 times in a row, and playing it a little bit as of today, doesn't really feel like a DLC and it's pretty underwhelming. DLC usually expands upon the already pre-existing game, but with Episode Shadow, it doesn't really do that. Well, it does, but guess what you get out of it? 3 levels that you've already played before, but they're now reskinned with a few new obstacles to it, and you can play as Shadow. But there is like a story to it, but it's kind of poorly presented. There are a few positives I could give to it, but it's not many. I like the dialogue between Shadow, Team Dark, and Infinite. I do like the dialogue in this DLC, even if the story is poorly presented to you, but I actually like it. Shadow actually sounds pretty great in this game. He doesn't really have that gruspy Vegeta going on in his voice. I don't know why he doesn't sound more like how he does in this game. I guess they wanted him to sound consistent with how he did in the 2010s because Generations came out in that time, so I guess that's the reasoning. I really like the music. Nice to get a remix of an Adventure 2 song in here. That's where all my positives come to an end. The levels kinda have almost good ideas put into them, but they're just basically Kaizo levels, so maybe that's why they feel slightly better than the main game's levels. I almost had a little bit of fun with the levels, but they're over with pretty quickly, but you can basically say that for the entire game of Sonic Forces. The levels feel like they're going somewhere, but then they're over with. So with Shadow being a playable character, you'd think maybe they would incorporate as many different abilities he's had over the series, but they don't do that. Instead, he plays identically to Sonic, so you're basically just playing as a skin. There's nothing unique to him. The levels aren't even built around how Shadow controls as a character instead of Sonic. He controls exactly the same. You can play through all the DLC levels as Sonic most likely, which I haven't checked, and you basically have the same effect going on. It's honestly kinda unfortunate. I guess they just didn't have enough time to give him a moveset, so they were just like, here you go, he plays like Sonic. I'm glad this issue is being fixed in Sonic X Shadow Generations, but why? You really just didn't have enough time to give him anything unique to him? So I've already stated that the levels are reskins, because they are. They are actual reskins of already pre-existing levels with a few obstacles to them, and you can get through them in under like a minute. In fact, this whole DLC could take you like 20 minutes to get through. If you're not skilled enough at the levels, maybe 3 minutes. I think it would have been cool if we got to see Sunset Heights before it got destroyed, but it looks identical to its original stage. There's almost good ideas with the levels. You can almost say that with every level in this game, I know that, but I just don't know what happened here. They just slapped everything together and were like, yeah, that's Shadow's DLC. Here's a level where you go down a slide that you've already done before, but there's like spikes and enemies on it now. Playing through this game again and its DLC with Shadow just makes me realize the many issues that it has. There's almost good stuff here, but it's not fully like done to its full potential, and it's unfortunate. This level with the circling cubes could have been a cool idea, but they don't do anything with it. It's just a lazy 2D level. Can you imagine if this was in 3D and you get to escape these and make it to the end as fast as you can? But no. So I really don't have much else to say about this DLC. It's overall just underwhelming and not really what a DLC is. It's just so short and it just could be done in 20 minutes. So I guess play these instead. They're actual DLCs. It's kind of a sad return to a character that hasn't been playable in a long time, but at least we're getting this soon. So it was interesting looking back at this underwhelming, not really DLC. I don't know if I could really recommend this to you. If you're just really bored or want to desperately play as Shadow, then alright then, you can do that. It's free. That's basically all from me, and I'll see you guys next time, and bye.